When the sky broke over Sicily, it didn't just rain. It collapsed. Within minutes, streets turned into violent rivers, cars vanished beneath swirling brown water, and hail hammered rooftops with the fury of 1,000 storms. The island, known for sun-soaked coastlines and calm Mediterranean skies, was swallowed by chaos. In just 15 minutes, more than 3 inches of rain fell enough to drown entire neighborhoods. Schools shut down, power flickered out, and the people of Agrigento and Palermo watched in disbelief as nature rewrote the map of their towns. This wasn't a forecast. It was an ambush. Meteorologists had predicted light showers, not a flash flood of biblical scale. And by the time the storm passed, it left behind more than wreckage. It left a haunting question: what happens when paradise turns on you?
Le macchine mangiare,
A me non va, vogliamo qualche documentazione.
Ti saluto, state in casa però,
No, no.
It began just after sunrise, a gentle drizzle that felt harmless. But within minutes, the skies opened like a broken dam. Rain poured at more than 3 inches per hour, hammering rooftops, parking lots, and narrow cobblestone streets, until everything disappeared beneath a rising tide of mud and debris. In the town of Sciacca, located on Sicily's southern coast, drivers abandoned their cars as torrents of brown water surged through intersections. Storefronts burst open under the pressure-flooding shops in seconds. Residents rushed to higher floors, clutching pets and photo albums, the only things they could save. Local officials were caught off guard. These conditions weren't in any forecast, said Mayor Fabio Termine, who declared a state of emergency and ordered schools closed. Emergency lines were jammed. Firefighters waded through waist-deep water, using ropes to reach trapped families as flash floods swallowed entire blocks. The storm lasted barely 15 minutes, but its damage felt like an hour of hell. Streets once filled with tourists and market stalls now looked like a war zone. A reminder that when the weather turns against you, 15 minutes can change everything.
Le macchine mangiare.
By late morning, the streets of Favara and Agrigento were unrecognizable. What had been quiet neighborhoods turned into a churning brown sea. Cars bobbed like toys between floating trash bins, branches, and shattered glass. Locals shouted across rooftops, their voices drowned out by the roar of rushing water. Rescue crews, firefighters, civil protection units, and volunteers battled through near-impossible conditions. Visibility dropped to just a few feet, and every step risked being swept away. Power lines sparked above, flooded roads, and manholes exploded under pressure, sending jets of muddy water into the air. In the chaos, word spread of a young woman, missing, possibly trapped beneath the current. Dozens joined the search, forming human chains through the floodwaters. Every minute felt like a race against time. For those who lived through it, The memories are hard to shake: the smell of wet earth and gasoline, the sound of collapsing walls, the helplessness of watching your home vanish in front of you. When the rain finally eased, silence fell over the city. But it wasn't relief. It was disbelief. In just one morning, Sicily had gone from sunshine to survival.
Sì, adesso siamo sul tetto, aspettiamo.
When the skies finally cleared, Sicily woke up to a different world. Streets once lined with cafes and market stalls were buried under thick layers of mud, mixed with shattered glass and fallen trees. The morning sun revealed what the storm had stolen: homes without doors, cars stacked on top of one another, and silence where laughter used to echo. Residents wandered through the wreckage, some barefoot, some still in soaked clothes, searching for anything left untouched. It looked like the sea had swallowed the town, one shop owner said, as he stood where his bakery used to be. The air carried the smell of fuel salt and loss. City crews worked non-stop to clear blocked roads, while volunteers handed out food and blankets. Schools became makeshift shelters. Power outages stretched into the night, leaving thousands in the dark, literally and emotionally. Authorities described the flood as the most intense downpour in decades, but for locals it was more than a statistic. It was a reminder that nature's wrath no longer waits for warning signs. In just one storm, Sicily's beauty had turned into a battlefield, and recovery had only just begun.
All'Elba, a Portoferraio, con l'acqua.
Abbastanza.
Spiaggia e sta.
Scientists say what happened in Sicily wasn't just bad luck. It was a symptom of a planet running hotter than ever. Sea surface temperatures in the Mediterranean this fall were nearly 5 °C above normal, turning the region into a massive heat engine. When moist air from the sea collided with colder air from the north, the result was explosive. A rain bomb that dumped nearly 3 inches of rain in 15 minutes. Meteorologists call this a flash convection event, a term once used for rare tropical systems. But now it's happening in Europe, North Africa, even the American Southwest. The line between seasons is blurring. Summer heat lingers longer, and when it finally breaks, it breaks violently. Experts also warn that aging infrastructure plays a huge role. Old drainage systems, narrow roads, and dense urban growth turn heavy rainfall into instant disaster zones. It's not just nature, it's our own vulnerability. This storm was never meant for Sicily alone. It's part of a global pattern. From the floods in Arizona to hurricanes hammering the Gulf, the message is clear. Climate change isn't coming. It's already here.
You got it. One more time.
This used to be a campground. These are all campsites.
Wow. Okay.
When the skies finally cleared over Sicily, silence replaced the chaos. Streets once drowned in torrents were left coated in mud and debris, a haunting reminder of how fast normal life can vanish. But amid the wreckage came movement, purpose, and resilience. Neighbors grabbed shovels, forming human chains to clear blocked drains. Volunteers delivered food and bottled water to the elderly trapped in upper floors. Firefighters worked around the clock, hauling away fallen trees and pumping out flooded basements. Even local business owners, still cleaning up their own damage, opened doors to serve free coffee to rescue crews. "It's not about what we lost," said one resident of Agrigento. "It's about how we stand back up." The Italian Civil Protection Department coordinated dozens of relief teams, while schools converted classrooms into temporary shelters. Across social media, stories of courage and compassion spread faster than the flood itself. In every flooded town from Trapani to Palermo, one truth became clear: disaster may break streets, but it cannot break spirit. And as Sicily began to rebuild, the rest of the world was left with a sobering reminder: resilience isn't born from strength, it's born from solidarity. Every storm carries a message, and Sicily's was loud and clear. What happened there could just as easily happen in Florida, California, or Arizona. Around the world, extreme weather is rewriting the rules of safety, turning once predictable seasons into wild cards. Scientists say these aren't isolated incidents, they're warnings. A warmer atmosphere holds more moisture, which means heavier rainfall, stronger storms, and faster floods. It's not the future, it's now. The same forces that flooded Sicilian towns are fueling record hurricanes in the Atlantic megafires in the west and deadly flash floods across the desert southwest. But in every crisis, there's a choice: rebuild the same way or rebuild smarter. Stronger infrastructure, improved drainage, early warning systems, and community drills save lives. The technology exists. The question is whether we'll use it before the next storm hits. Because in the end, resilience isn't measured by how fast we rebuild, it's measured by how well we prepare. Sicily's storm wasn't just Italy's tragedy. It's a blueprint for every coastal and inland community facing a hotter, wetter, more unpredictable planet. The next time the skies darken, will we be ready? As dawn breaks over flooded streets and shattered towns, one truth remains: nature always speaks last. The storm that ripped through Sicily wasn't just a European tragedy. It was a reminder for all of us, living under the same sky. From the Gulf Coast to the Great Plains, from wildfire-scarred California to hurricane-battered Florida, no one is beyond reach. But awareness is the first line of defense. Every story shared, every lesson learned helps save lives when the next siren sounds. So if you believe these stories matter, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video. Because knowledge isn't just power, it's survival. Stay safe, stay prepared, and never underestimate the storm.